Hi, my name is Madison Leonard, and I am currently a junior business management major at the University of South Florida. And I'm excited to show you my final project, Tableau project. Here, let me switch over to that. In this presentation, I will walk you through my Tableau dashboard, explain the business problems I tackled, highlight our key findings, and share recommendations. Now let me get over to my board and go back to sales KPI. So the KPI ones, this line shows that monthly sales compared to the prior year, we see a lot of dips. Here, I'll show you this one too. And we can also see it also usually goes up later in the year. So it shows a lot of seasonal fluctuations. Here's our profit. As we can see, it kind of doesn't 100% align with our sales, but we'll see a better graph with that later. And then cost KPI. This kind of is pretty similar to the sales one, but it does not all of them align if you look closely, showing there's maybe some operational influences that change that. But let's go to our drill down. Now, this shows that sales vary across our product categories and subcategories. Performance reveals strong differences in both revenue and profitability. The one I want to highlight with that is our furniture. We can go in here specifically and we can see that a lot of the things have negative profit, which is not good because we're selling them and we have sales, but they're not making any profit, which isn't great for a business. We can also go into other ones and look specifically into what's making profit, what's not, and we can also look at our overview. Now, the Pareto chart, here it is. This chart shows that a small number of categories account for majority of the total sales, and the curve represents the 80% threshold. You can see it right here, and you can actually follow line to show it. Now our dual chart, this is the one I was talking about. This shows our sales versus our profit very well. As you can see, sometimes the spikes don't even match. Like this has a really high spike and then it actually lowers here, showing that profit doesn't always align with our sales. And that's something I think we need to look into as a company. Here, I'm going to talk about our forecasting. So this forecast shows a steady growth forecast into 2025, but we can also see there's a widening confidence interval showing that there might be some uncertainty with that we can't really predict. Here is the what if scenario. Here I tested some discount rates. So right now I'm at the 26%. If you go to 1 though, like you can see it's not going to be much different. Um, and you can see that when the discount rate rises, our profitability down instead of going up. But it could be good for some products that we can't really sell without the discount to make some sales and increase other profits when you look into it. So here is my profit map. Just gonna let it load. This is shows what states are the most profitable and has the most amount of sales when you hover over. But this map really just focuses on profit. We can see Texas is our least profitable. Even with its 170K in sales, it still has negative 26 profit, which we need to look into and see why it's causing that. And we can see California and New York are most profitable in like the 70K range. And we're also making a good amount of sales there as well. And we can just go into specifics of each state. Here is our products mix tree map. So this is like an easy way of just seeing what's the most profitable, or excuse me, what has the most sales. But by looking at the colors, you can also see what has a good amount of profit. Well, we can see what's low, like our tables. Yeah, they have 207,000 sales, but negative 18 profit, where we have the binders that are 203,000 sales, but they're making 30K in profit. So we might need to maybe look at something with the tables, maybe taking some of the supplies out for it, or just increasing sales of the binder because that's what we're making money on. So now I'm going to talk about my dashboard, which is kind of the main thing of this project. So here I have the sales and profit overview. I have all my KPIs at the top, as well as my analysis of total sales and my distribution and my tree map. And it's pretty interactive. You can, if I click one on here, you can see how the costs and the sales and the profit line up for a certain year. So for 2021, you can see how the profit increased here while the sales still stayed low, and the costs stayed pretty much the same with only a few different things. And then we can also change things like regions for this category, which is really cool. We can see what is selling in certain states or certain regions, and we can also change our discount rate for over here, kind of see what that's looking like here. And we can also change up this right here. Now I'm gonna go into our strategy one. And you can do that just by clicking this button over here. And this shows what we should do and what we should look into to really maximize our profit and increase sales. Kind of just look at these, see what we need to meet, and then also how we're going to meet that by adding discounts or prioritizing states, seeing what we should do. I also have our business recommendations in here, which I'm going to read. One of them is to put discounts on furniture to increase sales. Furniture has a pretty low amount of sales. Um, so we can look into things like that. And then align inventory with forecast peaks. So the sales forecast has increased a goal of 118K, which we can see right here, signaling a strong upcoming demand. And I think preparing inventory and supply chains ahead of time will maximize our profit and make sure we can keep up with it. So my analysis story, I think our sales are strong. Sales growth is strong, but pretty volatile. So our seasonal peaks drive most of our revenue, but planning inventory must align with these cycles. I think we could see that in our other graphs where we had high sales, but our profit just was not matching it for some years. And here I can actually see it better over here. Like I showed over here, it's just not matching it, which we need to do. Our profitability, yeah, is uneven across categories. So we can see over here that, yeah, we're making a lot of sales in furniture, but we are only making not that, like we're making a not amount of, yeah, 18,000 in profit, but 740 in sales, which isn't profitable. And then I think discount sensitivity is pretty crucial. So certain subcategories quickly lose profitability when discounts rise, as we can see over here. Certain subcategories, they lose it, and then meaning pricing strategy must be carefully managed. We can't just throw discounts on things. We have to really think about it. And so what I learned in this project is I learned how powerful Tableau is for connecting technical analysis to business storytelling. I practiced building interactive dashboards using scenario analysis and designing visuals that highlight both revenue and profitability. Thank you so much for watching my presentation, and I hope this walkthrough showed how data visualization can drive smarter business decisions, and I look forward to applying these skills in the future. Thank you so much.